Morning. Nella girl, can you hear me? Oh, whoa. Oh, hello. Happy post-Easter. Some of you guys look like you overdosed on candy. Too many Easter eggs. Anybody got the golden egg? Nobody got the golden egg? No. You guys too old for Easter. Becca, you too old for Easter? Never. Okay. Alrighty, we're just waiting for the other people to come in to class, and then we'll get started. So everybody have their planners. Let's go ahead and get started with our planners first. So grab your planner. Girl, you look fine today. You look fine, no worries. I listened to this really interesting podcast about what the pandemic did to like our sense of like what we look like and beauty. It was very interesting because you know how we've been seeing ourselves on screens this whole time, and so like it's important to look somewhat presentable. So I thought that was a really interesting podcast about beauty, expectations of beauty and things like that, just for yourself. Was kind of interesting. Anyway, so today is April 5th. Okay, so April 5th. We're going to, first of all, kind of just get through a discussion for chapters 6 and 7. Okay, so make sure you open up your notes to page 6 and 7. Okay, we have some really interesting and intense things that happen in chapters 6 and 7. Okay, so we wanna get to that. All right, and then we're going to jump into our freeze frame group work with our group worksheet that will be posted. Okay, so that the freeze frame actually today will take some time. I want you guys to do a really good job of taking advantage of the filters, taking advantage of the changing your backgrounds. Okay, let's bring this freeze frame activity up to another level today. Can, Ahi? Yeah, alrighty. Also, what we have for today is if we finish early, okay, you guys can maybe do one of your Membean assignments. Okay, so let me just share my screen so I can kind of go over some things, and then we'll get started with our day. Pretty straightforward day. If you look, basically you have two assignments ish. Okay, I'm trying to keep this real for you guys because I obviously, if you looked at last week, we kind of did a lot. Okay, so as we go through this week, I want you to keep in mind, do you guys have your notebooks? You guys have your notebooks? I want you guys to keep in mind Tutu's Aloha, Aina Grace, right? I want you to keep that in mind. And now I want you to keep in mind the lessons from the Mo'olelo of Hālaʻi Hills. Okay, so now what are we doing, right? We're adding on more, maybe a fine tuning of our lens, yeah, as we read Lord of the Flies. Okay, so let's look at the reading schedule and basically what we have for today. Okay, so we are well on our way. April, yeah, so we're gonna do some group work with a freeze frame today. No big deal on chapters 6 and 7. While integrating the lessons from Hālaʻi Hills. So those of you guys who are at home, hopefully you can go grab some interesting props to help out, okay? Those of us at school, we'll be creative, all right? We'll be creative, so all good, okay. All right, and then we're going to be reading this week chapters 8 and 9. Okay, so let's go through our discussion. Okay, so I'm going to actually stop the share. Okay, And I'm going to be, what's going on? Hang on, I'm gonna drop some questions in here, okay? So while you guys are waiting for me to drop the questions inside the chat, go ahead and just review chapter 6 and 7, okay? Okay. And even chapter 5, okay, go back to chapter 5 because we really didn't talk about chapter 5. Okay, so there are 6 questions that I want you guys to just talk stories about. Okay, just to get the juices flowing for this rainy, rainy Monday morning. Okay, so the first one is what is going on with Percival? Okay, that's in chapter 5. Percival Wemming Madison. Okay, something very, I don't know, very, very, I don't know. I think it's really sad what's happening with Percival. What does that symbolize? Okay, so I would take notes as you guys discuss, okay, because this is going to be crucial for your freeze frames today. The second question is what role does Simon play in chapter 5? Okay, you might even want to write down these questions. Simon is emerging as a somebody in this story, right? We already have Jack, he represents one thing, right? We already have Ralph, he represents something else, right? You can kind of see Hina Kiahi and Hina Ulu Ua, right? Kind of emerge from these stories as well. Well, at least their characteristics. Quite interesting, okay, the parallels. Okay, number 3, on page 91, discuss the quote, what are we, humans or animals? So I want you guys to find who is saying this, why, what's going on, okay? Number 4, in chapter 6, what lands on the island, right? Okay, number 5, this is a very interesting one because we often talk about leadership qualities. Okay, and so the question is, there is a power struggle that emerges in chapter 6. Discuss it. Predict what is going to happen because of this power struggle. And number 6, at the end of chapter 7, what do the boys discover? Okay, and what is that going to cause them to do? Okay, so everybody good? You ready? I want you guys to discuss it, take notes so that you can learn from each other, and I'll just be cruising on. I need to have a moderator for each group. Okay, so that I'm going to turn to the Mo'oku'au house. So the oldest person in the group, you're gonna go ahead and moderate for your group. Okay, and then we'll share out when we come back. Okay, so let's take about maybe 10 minutes or so to talk stories about this. All right, I want you guys to actually talk about things. All right, I want you guys to give your feedback, give your input based on page numbers. Okay, all right, let's see. Okay, here we go.
Who's the oldest? I'm the oldest. Yeah.
Who's the youngest? Who's like born closer to
Who's the youngest?
December? When's your guys' birthday? Kikama, you're the youngest?
Yeah, I think I'm born the closest to December.
When's your birthday?
Huh?
When is
August.
your birthday? Mine is October.
So it's Diesel. Oh no, my birthday's September, sorry. No, I was thinking of my dad's birthday. Shoot.
Kikama, it's too early, yeah?
Yeah.
All good. All right, let's get started with, you guys should have your books out. You should have your notes good to go, okay? You guys should be talking stories about the questions. You guys should be taking notes. Okay.
Right, so I'm gonna go straight to the third question. Yeah.
Okay, we're talking stories. Who's the moderator? Where did Ahi go? Ahi, you there? There you are. Okay, who's the oldest? Who's the moderator? Have you guys called out your birthdays? Who's closest to January?
Wouldn't it be the year you're born?
Year and then whoever's born first. Would that be you, Nai? No.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, let's communicate here. Who's born when?
October 4th, 2005.
February 16, 2006.
July 30th, 2006.
October 31st, 2005. I guess I'm done with it. So I'm the moderator.
Did we read? Okay, let's answer these questions together, yeah? Talk stories.
The what are we, humans or animals? Ralph said that one, right? No, Ralph didn't. I thought it was Ralph. Maybe one. Oh, was it Piggy?
So in chapter 5, principal was one of the little boys like outed Percival when they were having a meeting, and then he started to like cry. Can you hear me now? Okay.
All right. Okay, so what questions have you guys talked about?
Three, and I'm working on 4.
Okay. Maybe you guys can divide up the questions and look for them. That might be good. What do you think?
Yeah, so we did.
Oh, my ka'i. Very good, leader.
Thank you.
Good job, Ralph.
Thank you.
Mhm. So what are you guys doing? Are you guys breaking up the questions and each person is looking up one. Have you guys talked about the responses? Are you guys done? Which one do you guys need help with? Which number? Did you guys talk about number one? Okay, what's going on with number one with Percival? Ahi, do you know?
Before Crystal went to bed or like fell asleep, he said that the beast comes out from the sea.
Okay, what about toward the end of chapter 5? He pops up again, right? So in the beginning, he kind of has this breakdown, right? They start asking him, who are you? Where are you from? Right? And look toward the end of chapter 5. Percival pops up again. What happens at the very end?
Was it that he was Percival, Madison of that whole thing? He was laying inside the grass, living through circumstances in which the incantation of his address was powerless to help him.
What's the incantation? What is an incantation? Do you guys know? Look it up.
It is words as a magic spell.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like the beastie? Like what you said about the beastie?
Kind of. I mean, if you guys could go down to the last paragraph on page 94, that might help. Huh? No, are you guys done already? In your groups? Oh, okay. All right, hang on. Okay, so basically, right? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop this and then we'll just move on, okay? Because let's just kind of go over it all together. Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm going to encourage you guys because I have a feeling that we're not really keeping up. Some of us are not really keeping up with our reading. Okay. Initially, okay, I just want to let you guys know, initially I had planned for you guys to read 50 pages a week. Notice that's like maybe 3 to 4 chapters a week. Okay. However, because we're also folding in some scholarly essays and other stories and things like that to kind of run a comparison between the two, you only have to read 2 chapters, all right? The reading is pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I don't think the vocabulary is at a high level. Okay, it should be pretty manageable. Okay, so I'm telling you guys in the nicest way possible that you guys need to come to school prepared. Okay, everybody clear on that? Okay, this story takes you on a journey. I mean, this is as real as it gets as far as the comparison between what's happening today with what could happen on an island, right? And it deals with the rules, right? Civilization, what happens, right, when someone becomes a leader and chaos breaks out. What happens to that person, right? So let's look at this, all right? On number one, what is going on with Percival in chapter 5? Somebody offer up their knowledge to the group. Yes, Emily.
Percival was asked to speak about the beast, and then when he did, he kind of went a little bit crazy, and he like yelled his street address and a lot of other things, and then he like cried and yawned and stuff, and then he told Jack that the beast comes out of the sea before he fell asleep.
Mm-hmm. Let's have you guys go to page 94. So now I kind of found the backside of this, right? If you guys go down to the very bottom, it says a thin wail out of the darkness chilled them and set them grabbing for each other. Then the wail rose remote and unearthly and turned to an inarticulate gibbering. Percival Wemmings Madison of Viscard Harcourt, St. Anthony, lying in the long grass, was living through circumstances in which the incantation of his address was powerless to help him. He is repeating his address over and over and over again. Why would he do that? Nella, why? What do you think? Why would a little kid keep repeating his address like that? Say it again.
So he wouldn't forget it and he can relate a message to someone.
Okay, let's expand a little bit more. What's going on in this chapter? Is he trying to find comfort in his address? Right? Have you ever seen a little kid cry and cry and cry, and the only thing they can do is repeat something, right? Like you grounded, right? And then the kid's like, why? They can't stop repeating. This is kind of like what's happening with him. He's a little kid. Okay, so what is William Golding doing, right? He's reminding us throughout the book that these are little kids, right? Okay, and in some aspects, like, adults, they're just bigger kids, right? Oh, look, Kekama's like, Okay, so let's look at number 2. What role does Simon play in chapter 5? Simon emerges as this kind of like this peculiar character. Who knows about Simon? Damon, do you know about Simon?
Isn't he like nice little Litlans? Like he offers to help them like grab food and stuff.
Right. Is he a little one or is he a bigger kid?
He's like around like Ralph's age.
Okay, so he's more on the older side. Okay, and he's more, it sounds like you said like nurturing, describing him as nurturing. So you guys might want to write these things down in your notes, yeah? Okay, what else do you know about Simon? Okay, Tasia, do you know anything about Simon? Can you add to this? He says some interesting things. What does he say? Okay, page 89. Go to page 89. We're looking for what Simon says. No pun intended. Go to the bottom of 88. He could see a whiteness in the gloom near him, so he grabbed it from Maurice and blew as loudly as he could. The assembly was shocked into silence. Simon was close to him, laying his hands on the conch. Simon felt a perilous necessity to speak, but to speak in assembly was a terrible thing to him. So what does that say about his characteristic? Is he outgoing or is he shy? Is he an introvert or is he an extrovert?
Outgoing. No, he's an introvert.
He is an introvert, right? Look at that. To speak in assembly was a terrible thing to him. I don't know if we have introverts in this class, or if you know of if you have a friend who's an introvert, but they are very peculiar people, right? They don't want to be pointed out. They stay under the radar, but they're not mean people, right? They just keep to themselves. Where extroverts are just kind of like, hey, what's your name? You want to be friends, right? I mean, they're just like out there, loud, right? Look at me, right? So if you look toward the bottom, we have some fighting, bickering going on, right? On page 89. Okay, he says, maybe, he said hesitantly, maybe there is a beast, right? And then they all go into this uproar. You, Simon, you believe in this? He said, I don't know, said Simon. Okay. And then he says something very interesting. If you go down, right, people are telling each other to shut up, grab the conch, right? He's wasting time. And then he says, what I mean is, maybe it's only us. Okay, you should have grabbed that quote. Why is this an important quote? Who knows? Why would Simon say, what I mean is, maybe it's only us, right? And then somebody immediately counters back with nuts, right? Kekama, go ahead.
So I think he said that because like I think he thinks like the the thing that they say is the beast, like all the boys, is just like the fear inside them that is like making them all, because they're like what, like they're not like adults, they're like younger kids, so like, and they're all alone on the island, so I think it's like just the fear inside them.
Kekama, you get an A today. Very good. Okay, so make sure you take note of that. I'm going to give you guys time right now to write that down. This is a memorable quote. Okay, what am I doing? We're going back and focusing on reading carefully, grabbing main details. What I noticed in you guys' CERs is that some of you guys are not being detailed enough, which tells me that you guys aren't reading, which tells me that we don't know how to use quotes. Okay, so this is me downshifting a little bit so that I can make sure my students leave me and go to the 10th grade knowing some things. Okay, so very good, Kikama. I really, you really hit it on the head right there. Okay, so we have Simon, who is this really a deep thinker, right? Maybe it's only us, right? This is good writing. Why? You don't have to say everything, right? You can have your readers read into things. Okay, number 3. Who can speak about number 3? Number 3 on page 91, discuss the quote, what are we, humans or animals? Who's saying this? Why? What's going on? Maddie.
Ralph was saying because all the chaos that's happening, like with the fires and not like everyone not living up to the duties that they have to do. And so he's trying to say, like, are we humans or are we animals just fooling around and not getting anything done?
Muted. Right, he has a plan, right? He is trying to write as Ralph. So go ahead and write Ralph, circle his name. Let's take some notes on Ralph, right? Who is he? He's the leader. How many of you guys see yourself in Ralph? Let's pretend all these people on the screen, we're all stuck on the island, right? Who would be our Ralph? Would we be able to work together? Let's say I went down with a plane, okay? And only get you guys on the island, right? Would you guys be able to hold it together? Maddie's saying no. What you think, Diesel? You think you guys would be able to hold it together? No, not really. Oh boy. I think this class, because it's kind of big, I think you guys would be able to like appoint people for a certain kuleana, like, you know, the hunters, people who can make shelters, gather food, gather water. I think you guys would be fine, actually. Actually, when I look at this screen, I think you guys would be fine. This class would work. Like if somebody were to rescue you guys, I don't think one would go missing unless we have a wanderer in this class. Right? Kalikalani, would that be you? You and Kayla are gonna find some crystals and then you guys gonna you guys gonna check out like, oh, let's go to the other side of the island. Where else 2 girls went? Okay, let's move on. So we have Ralph trying to hold it down, right? We have Ralph trying to keep the level of expectations, right? He's reminding people. Okay, now I think everybody should be able to answer this question, but as we go through to chapter 6, go to the very beginning of chapter 6. Okay, and this is me walking through this book with you because I'm worried that some of you guys are not reading it. I need you guys to read because you're missing out on a really good story. So we have this really long description. William Golding loves to describe, almost to a point where it's like, enough already, right? I mean, he describes things to death. Okay, but go down to the next, to the second paragraph on page 94, right? A silver moon. Just go ahead and quickly just read that to the bottom. Okay, just read it. When you figure out what lands on the island, go ahead and type it in the chat. Emily, don't hit enter yet. Oh. Okay. Listen to, I mean, like when you read this, I mean, it's actually a pretty beautiful prose poem, right? Go ahead and enter your answer since we got the correct answer, right? So it is, we remember, right, that there's an actual like war going on, right, in reference to something like a World War II in the Pacific, right? And we talk about how there was what, right? A battle, right? The battle fought at 10 miles height, but a sign came down from the world of the grown-ups. Though at the time there was no child awake to read it, right? So this parachutist came, right? We have this parachute. Do you have a parachute in your notes? Do you have that parachute in your notes? Yeah? Look how cute my parachute is. Look. Okay. Right, so the parachutist, right, lands up top on the mountain, right? Shot down from a plane, right? Okay, so let's look at number 5. There is a power struggle that emerges in chapter 6. Who is it between? Kayla, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Ralph and Jack.
And what is like really going on? What does Jack want to do versus what does Ralph want to do? Can somebody add on to that? Becca?
Between Jack and Ralph, Jack wants to explore more like late at night, but then Ralph is thinking about the little ones and their safety. So their communication is not it right now.
Right, and Jack does something really lame, right? He calls Ralph out in front of everybody. What, are you scared, right? Or you don't have to go, right? And it pins Ralph into playing into Jack's shenanigans, right? Is, what are you, chicken? No, I'm not chicken. We need a fire on the mountain, right, to signal, right? We need to make sure the kids are taken care of. We need huts, right? And we need to let Piggy know what's up so that he can make sure that everybody's safe. Like the idea of having a big picture in leadership, right? Having that big picture, including everyone's safety, right? Situation, right? That makes for good leadership. What does Jack want to do though, right? Damien, what does Jack want to do though?
Doesn't he like want to hunt another pig?
Yeah, why?
Wasn't there like rustling inside the bushes or something? Because didn't they find another pig? And then tried to like, I think it was with the spear or something. And they got like all pumped up and they started playing like that game.
Right. So they start being more savage-like, I guess, right? He even drops a little hint, right? Oh, maybe we could use one of the little ones next time to pretend to be a pig. I don't know which one of you guys on this screen would pretend to be a little piggy so we could play hunters, but I don't think that's good. I see you guys. You guys are like, yeah, I think that one would. Don't do that to each other. Okay. So we have a bit of a power struggle going on. And then last but not least, at the end of chapter 7, the boys discover what they describe as what? We know, right? We know it's a parachutist, but what do the boys think it is? Tasia, do you know? Anybody? What do they? So go to the end of chapter 7 to find out. What do they think it is? What do they call it? Kalukalani, you know? Who knows? Diesel, you know?
Was it the great ape?
Yeah. Who said that? Oh, thanks, Nai. Bless you. Okay. So, well, yeah. You're lucky you can sneeze at home. Try sneeze at school. Everybody give you stink eye. It's horrible. And then you got to sneeze in your mask. It's even worse. Okay.
Okay.
So, I'm just really jealous that you could sneeze regular. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, so we have this great ape thing, right? Why does it have to be an ape, right? So what happens to their whole beastie, right? Fear of the beastie thing. Okay, Kama, do you have something else to say about that? What happens now that they're like, the older boys see this great ape thing? What happens now?
I didn't. Oh, so I think now they think didn't they think like the beast is real now?
Right, it's called
Is it-
confirmation,
'cause
right?
the ape was on the hill, yeah. I think
Mm-hmm, up
it was
on the
on
mountain.
or something.
Right, is that a real ape?
I don't think so.
What was it? An orangutan? A
No,
snake?
no.
What? Emily.
Shit, I don't even. It was a. Wasn't it a ape?
No.
It's just the figure, right?
Yeah. Okay, going
Like,
back to my
in
artistry.
writing, Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's the guy. It's the dead guy.
Right. I don't know if you can see that, but that I actually drew that. I thought it was great. So there's the parachute. Okay. And then there's the guy. What does your drawings look like? Anybody have a drawing of this? Did you guys draw this? Nobody? Oh. Okay, well, that's it, right? Chapter 7 also, they talk about Jack's like, we need a drum, right? We need a little one to be a pretend pig, right? Jack is losing it. Okay, so let's move on to our next thing, which is going to be our group work. So go ahead and we'll just keep you guys in the same groups, okay? So what we have here is we have this chart. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. I'm just gonna have one of you guys, and that's going to be the youngest kid in your group, make the worksheet. Okay, so this is chapter 6 and 7 of Lord of the Flies. Ooh, hey, this needs to be, ooh, who can tell me? Maybe Maddie. You see right here, Lord of the Flies. Is it in quotations or italicized? 50-50 chance.
Italicized.
Muhalo on that one. It needs to be italicized. And then let's see. Ahi. Mahea oi, where you stay? Where is Ahi? Where's my Ahi? No more. Oh, there you are, Ahi. Okay, tell me. You see right here, Mo'olelo of Hālaʻi Hills. What do I do with this? Do I put this in italics or in quotations?
Italics, because it's the title of a essay.
It's a title of a story that's in a collection of a book, right? So try again. If it's not italics, it should be quotation marks, okay? So you gotta make like this, like little pieces, right? So this is a short story that's in a book. So you would have a quotations under Hālaʻi, around Hālaʻi Hills, okay? Just like that. Boom, okay? So let's see. In your groups, okay, you guys are going to also use your worksheet that you turned in last night. You guys are like, oh my gosh. Okay, to just pull what are some of the lessons that you guys want to highlight in your freeze frame. Make sure you collect 3 direct quotes to help, okay, explain, and then explain the connection. How do the lessons of the mo'olelo, right, can help the boys in The Lord of the Flies, specifically for chapters 6 and 7. Everybody good on that? Okay. I'm gonna give you guys a solid like 20 minutes to do this. Okay, so together, okay, the youngest person now, we're going to use the youngest person in the group. You're gonna be typing out what your classmates are trying to plan out, who's doing what, okay, and then explain what they're doing and why. And then you're gonna drop your picture of your freeze frame here, okay? Then that way it'll be easier. Okay, youngest person in the group, you'll drop this into the discussion board. Any questions on this? Okay, you're gonna drop it in right here. Questions? Kekama, you good? Okay. Yeah, somebody left. Who would that be? I gotta move somebody.
Another computer. Something
Anella?
happened.
Anella's computer died.
Or something happened. She's like gonna join back.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna move somebody because if not, it's too big. Okay, all right. Poor Anella. Can you text Anella saying I'll be waiting for her in the weight room? Okay, go for it, 20 minutes. Where is Anella?
Okay, who's doing what?
Could you put the doc in the link? I mean the Could you put the link for the doc in the chat?
That was funny. Nai, so is Anela text you back?
Yeah, so I told her and she sent me a picture of her computer. It's still like turning on, like you know the app when there's that long line, it's still loading.
Okay, okay. Can you just tell her to just text you, and so that you can let me know?
Yeah.
Because I can't, like, if when I'm in rooms, I cannot see who's in the waiting room. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when she tells me she's waiting, like
Yeah.
waiting in the room, I'll call you. I'll call the thing so you come.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you. Hi, Becca.
Hi.
How's it going, you guys?
He just shared the link.
Okay.
So
You guys are figuring out what you're doing?
I'm gonna pull up the other doc, my other one.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna help. So you guys should all pull up your other doc, okay? Has the lessons.
Emily, can you email me your virtual background, please?
Okay, so somebody should be, or a number of you guys should be plugging in some possible lessons that you're going to point out for chapters 6 and 7 from the Mo'olelo. So remember, we're doing this kind of crossover collaboration thing, right? You guys could probably copy and paste from your other worksheet and copy and paste into the left side. So up to you guys. Thank you. Anybody need help? How you guys doing? Ooh, right on.
I'm still looking for quotes.
Good.
It's hard to find them.
They should be done in your other worksheet. So basically you're just contributing from last week's worksheet, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So it should be helpful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the waiting room.
Teamwork, thank you.
I think we're good now.
I know you wouldn't cut my class. It's your favorite class.
I know, okay, I just had to like email you because it was taking so long to load. I was like, she probably thinks I'm cutting her class right now. So I texted Annalise and I was like, tell her I'm not cutting her class. It's really not loading.
Nala girl, I know you wouldn't cut my class. Plus, I'm going to see you tomorrow, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't cut my class anyway, but I'm going to put you in Nilesia's group instead.
Okay.
And Tasia, where she went? Oh. Kayla, how you guys doing? Are you guys almost done? Yeah. You might need to take the green screen off and just put the background. Where is Tasia? There she is. Hi.
My computer froze, so I had to restart it.
Okay, I'm putting you back in your group.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about what we're gonna do for our freeze frame.
Okay. Okay, so we got Kikama explaining the plan, and then somebody has to start typing in over here because you guys running out of time. Okay, in fact, probably tomorrow you guys going to need the time to finish this up. Okay, so actually, what time is it? Okay, you guys have about like 5 more minutes. I think you guys can get there, but gotta hurry, okay?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Your freeze frame, it's pretty darn cool. When you guys share out though, you guys need to make sure that you make that connection with one of the lessons from Hālaʻi Hill. Okay, so which one were you guys going to choose? Which lesson? Okay. So make sure you guys are ready to share out. We'll do the share out tomorrow, okay? Okay. Because we're gonna have to close class in about 2 minutes, so. In fact, let's close the rooms. Oh, I hope everybody's ready. Diesel, you guys not taking your picture yet, yeah? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Fun times. Okay. Where's everybody? Oh, that's creepy. Who is that? Who's that? Parachute guy who died on the tree. That's Damien. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's a good picture. Okay, so it sounds like you guys, there might be two groups that need to get back and finish up. Okay, we're gonna all meet back tomorrow. Okay, this was supposed to be fast. Like you guys are supposed to copy and paste what you had on your other worksheet into this worksheet, and then you guys supposed to have created this plan for your freeze frame and then the explanation. Okay, so just as a heads up, make sure you're able to explain how the lessons from the Mo'olelo of Hālaʻi Hills would be able to help with this situation that you guys grabbed from these chapters. Can? Okay, make sure. Okay, and that should happen where it says, like the explain what each person is doing in the freeze frame, and then also saying what the freeze frame is about. Okay, and then how the lesson of blah 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 can be applied to your freeze frame. Can? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna just make a really big suggestion here. Okay, and that is like tonight for homework, I would do your membean already, right? Okay, so if you guys look for tomorrow, also we have some reading, right? But go ahead and click on the chapter 8 and 9, breaking news. Okay, so what you're gonna be doing is for chapter 8 and 9 is you're gonna create a 1 to 2 minute breaking news report on both chapters 8 and 9. We are going to have our first death come up in the story. Well, we don't know what happened to the boy with the mulberry birthmark. So he's, we don't know what happened to him, but we're going to have our first death come up. Okay. Need you guys to check that out. You guys are going to, for this assignment, you're going to dress up in your reporter outfit. Okay. So make sure you have something that looks like a mic or something like that. If you want to print out a mic, draw a mic on a paper, be creative. Some of you guys have done a really good job with your videos. Okay, and I want you guys to go on assignment and report the breaking news. So if you guys live by the jungle or whatever, okay, go ahead and use that. So you're gonna dress up in character and you be on the location. Make sure you throw in 3 details. And this is the other thing, 3 membean words. Okay, 3 details, 3 membean words. So my suggestion to you tonight is to do your membean. Okay, Ken? All right, I will see you guys here tomorrow. Okay, same bat channel, same bat time. Make sure you guys all charge your computers. Make sure you turn off your computer, shut it down. Wake them back up early in the morning so it has time to wake up. Okay. All right, guys, start reading chapters 8 and 9. Okay, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye. Hi.
Right.
Ahi. Ahi. I'll see you later. Bye. Okay. Yes.
So there's no excuse. Basically, it's just what like I haven't been doing my work.
I know, but you still can do it.
Yeah, and see, I've been reading.
Okay.
Like I seriously, but I haven't read chapter 7 yet.
Okay.
And oh, so you said I can still do my work?
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I need you to maybe this week, Do your work. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Because I
you're
like,
falling behind.
yeah,
Falling behind.
CER stuff. That's what got me.
Yeah, that needs to be done. So, I mean, I'll see you tomorrow. You're gonna have time in class to work on stuff, and maybe we could just work on that together, okay?
Okay.
In the meantime, get some of this work done, okay?
Yeah. Speaking.
Awesome, awesome. Kenny, you know I'm your biggest cheerleader, so.
Thank
And
you.
I don't dress up with cheerleading stuff and pom-poms and stuff like that, but, okay? I will if I have to. Okay,
Thank you for your support, Kumu.
anytime. Okay, bye. Okay, wait, I gotta open the door. Hang on. Hi. Oh, what's this? What's he doing? Where are you going?
Vegas. I'm gonna go watch my brother.
Okay. Yay! What are you doing? What, wrestling? Football?
Football.
What, you?
Not me.
Oh, just your fam?
My brother is gonna go play football 7-on-7.
Oh,